So Austin, I went to GameStop today to put $20 down for freaking Mario RPG, right? And the guy at the counter was like, "What's your number?" So I give him my phone number, and then he's like, "Oh, while you're here, do you want to pick up your copy of Wonder?" I'm like, "I got an opening night," and he goes, "Well, it says you got a copy here." I said, "I already got my copy opening night," and I said like, "I don't have my receipt anymore, but I got it." And then the guy's just like, "Well, you have a balance of $63.59 on your account that you paid for the game." He goes, "What we can do, we can just put that towards Mario RPG, and you can just get that game full." So I said, "Bet, we'll do that." And so he's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And then, so like after I left, I'm like, I just got Mario Wonder for free, and then I used my money for Mario RPG. So like, I am big chilling with that. Cause we know
The best way to get games is absolutely free.
I was talking about wanting the game bad, and I couldn't really afford it quite yet, and I get it for free. Problem solved.
Agreed.
Welcome to
It's the best way to get it.
Hyperfixated.
Welcome to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and Lintelmen. JD's and Lintelmen. There we go. Um. So
Ladies and things.
yeah, wings and things from Zaxby's. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about console wars today. Um, this is going to be the first part where we're just going to like initialize, like talk about it. I think a few months down the road, we're going to have like an actual debate. Like, I want to do it like have two Nintendo, two Xbox, two PlayStation, and then we'll essentially have a big debate about it. Our guest Chandler has arrived. He is muted though, so he cannot talk yet. You can unmute whenever you feel like it, Chandler. We're big chilling. We're just starting the conversation.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey,
So
this is Chandler. Chandler has joined this episode of the podcast. All right, so since you are our guest, Chandler, we'll let you start. Which console company is your favorite, or you can choose PC. I'll count it.
No, actually, growing up, I never really had the money to invest in anything like PC oriented, and that's kind of like why I'm torn between the two. So, like, the obvious choice would be Nintendo. I feel like Nintendo had a huge impact on my childhood, especially playing games like Pokemon and stuff like that. But my choice is actually going to be Sony. So, and the reason for that is Sony, I feel like, played a pivotal role in introducing the 3D, um, like graphics and stuff with the PlayStation 1. The PlayStation 1 was definitely ahead of its time as their like first console release.
You can keep going.
And
You can keep
yeah,
going.
so that's why I went with them. But my console, and since it wasn't really specific to like it being a handheld or like an actual console, this guy bringing the GameCube, that's spicy. I'll give you that. Yeah. um, Handheld wise, PSP hands down. PSP
yes,
was like
PSP
game
was
changing.
it was it. They had the freaking movie console cards, and me and my friends
You'd
were
like
watching movies on there. We're like,
I remember like I found I think I like traded a couple packs of gum or like something stupid like that for a Family Guy video card, and then I would watch that on the bus to school every morning. And it was like the controversial episode, the one about Jews. Um, so like
which
I'm pretty
one?
sure that it's like the one that got banned or it got taken off of Fox,
Oh
and it
dang!
was because Peter sings a song where he's talking about like how uh, he needs a Jew or something like that. It was just very like anti-Semitic, and so as a result, it got pulled from the network. I'm pretty sure that card might actually be worth something on eBay. I don't know. I haven't ever like looked at it or anything. But yeah, no, that's what I got. So PSP, Sony, yeah.
PSP. You
And
said
let's not
PSP
see.
forget
was your
Final.
favorite console.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because
I
you weren't
think
specific to like
No, no,
actual
no, no,
consoles,
no,
but
no.
handheld.
Handhelds work too. I was curious. I wasn't sure if that was like your favorite one or if you had a different one. But yeah.
Oh
PSP is
yeah,
fine. Go to console. And you say don't forget about. I think you were gonna say Final Fantasy, but I'm not sure.
yeah. Final Fantasy, man. Final Fantasy is like lit. Crisis Core, to be specific, the PSP exclusive. Like my boy Zach,
Well,
all
it
the
was
way.
PSP exclusive.
Well, until they did the remaster recently.
Yeah, I was about to say they just did a remaster. So.
But we won't count that though. Like they're like a couple decades too late there, or 1 decade, I guess.
Fair.
Valid.
I think
But
the
yeah,
PSP is funny because they were pushing those UMDs so hard to become like a new media like type of thing, and it was just like, bro, I don't know. They just weren't gonna compete with like discs at the time, like DVDs and CDs.
Well, I mean,
I
right.
think they were trying to push that too hard.
at the same
Well,
time, freaking these don't either.
Yeah, well, that was the whole thing is that everyone was trying to come up with what's the next, like what's the next thing in media because we had just moved from VHSs to discs. Now, how small can we get those discs?
And
But
cassettes.
yeah, and I
well,
don't know. Everyone was trying to push that, and it just like it was like, yeah, it's not going to take
well,
off.
they had abandoned that venture kind of quickly though, when because I don't think it was. I think it was the Gen 2 PSP whenever they started introducing early models of the PSP Go. They hadn't hit the market yet, but the PSP Go I think released around the same time as the version 3 PSP.
Yeah, and that's when they
'Cause-
started doing like the online, like the stores and stuff.
And then they made the
yeah,
crappy Vita.
I mean, the
I
Vita
feel like the
was
Vita
like
isn't that bad.
it's not a
It was
good
more mid.
design.
It was more mid compared to the PSP.
I mean, it
Yeah,
wasn't the PSP. It wasn't the PSP, that's for sure.
um, I don't know. I think it was like it's a very solid case of good. How does that saying go? I'm trying to remember it. It's like good intentions, bad execution, or something like that.
Yep. Yep. That's exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because all they were trying to do was like they wanted to do exactly what Nintendo did with the Switch, which was to bring a console power level to a handheld. And up until that point, like nobody had done it yet. And so, it's interesting actually because I wonder if the Vita was the gatekeeper, if you will, to the Switch being released because the Vita came out first, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Well, no, I think because they were already had the Wii U with like the weird gamepad, so I'm thinking they're just like, how can I do this with a better execution of the Wii U? I'll just make it a console.
Which I mean, like, I never understood why the Wii U wasn't its own separate entity, anyways. Like, why did I have to have basically a mini Wii to play something like to have a controller with the screen, essentially?
Austin, if I'm right, I think you and me have the same opinion. The Wii U was hot shit.
I really don't think it was that bad. I think it was another case, like he said, of like it was a good move forward, but it was just badly executed. Cause like the Wii was like the hottest thing like ever at the time, right? Like it was like one of the best selling consoles or whatever. And then just they were like, "What? Why should I move to the Wii?" That's kind of what everyone was saying. Is like, why should I move or to the Wii U? Sorry, but like that's kind of what everyone was saying. Is like, why should I move to the Wii U? Why? Like, what's the advantage?
I
And
don't
then
know.
a lot of the games that are on the Wii U ended up on the Switch anyway. So I feel like I don't know. I just feel like the whole Wii U thing was just done very poorly. I didn't move up either. I just kept my Wii, but
Yeah, I'd prefer the Virtual Boy over the Wii U.
That's a based opinion.
is that the thing where you set it on your desk and like you
Yeah.
look into it?
Yep. It's the
Yeah.
yeah.
Yikes, dude! Yikes, dude!
You're
And
basically
there,
saying that you would much rather have a seizure than play a Wii U.
yeah, because it
That's
was literally, it was literally just red and black. That
Yo,
was
I
all
got
the
the
colors it
Virtual
had,
Boy.
right?
I got the Virtual Boy DS.
Facts. Those are cool.
dude. Like I always wanted, like I miss that whole era,
Yeah.
of like Diamond Pearl and stuff like that. Just because I went with a PSP instead of a DS. This man's literally pulling out platinum. Platinum is based.
By far my favorite Pokemon
Um,
game.
True.
so like, dude, that's part of the reason why like it was hard for me to like get in with what was it, Scarlet and Violet, was
It's
Bro pulled
because
that out like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. My man said,
oh,
shout
don't
out
even get me
shout out to
started.
Con
Start
Square.
looking out the start whipping out the magic cards. Uh,
My
um,
my band cards are in my closet somewhere.
It's band
nice.
cards.
Yeah, I bought band cards for Magic. Like they're banned in tournaments, and I have two of them.
Ah,
Probably still worth something.
Yeah, one of them is like you get 5 extra cards, but then you lose the game after this one. And then I would use Platinum Angel right after that, just saying you can't lose the game and your opponent can't win the game. I'm just like, I I I got 5 extra cards and I can't die.
I am God.
That's how I felt, and then I lost anyway.
Yeah.
They hit me with the plummet artifact, and it broke my artifact, and I died.
Oof. But no, like getting back on topic though,
Yeah.
like yeah, that's why it was so hard for me to play Violet and so because I still haven't like picked it back up since like you and me were playing it back whenever it first came out. Um, and that was just because like I don't know. While I enjoyed it, like so much had changed, and it was just kind of overwhelming to like try to pick up a game that I once loved because the nostalgia factor wasn't really there. Like it hit for like a second, and then it was like, oh, what is? I don't even know any of the acronyms or whatever, but like for breeding and stuff like that, and trying to like get these special types of like I wasn't into any of that,
Yeah.
and so I don't know.
I
With the
mean, if
online
you're
features, yeah,
if you're an old school Pokemon player and you just stopped after like Pearl or like Black and White, then jumping into Scarlet and Violet is definitely not the best move just because you're not going to be used to it. Because there's just so much that has been added to those games. It doesn't
right.
even feel like the same thing anymore. If you're trying to get a nostalgia kick, that's not the way to do it.
No, I
Never
just downloaded
play
it. Yeah.
Pokemon Sun and Moon or Sun and Moon Ultra. Those games are freaking dog water. Those
True.
Yeah, man,
that
dogs need water.
that was the first Pokemon game I picked up and I never finished. I'm like, I will never finish this game. This game is stupid. They got rid of gems and gave you wilderness excursions when you gotta find the primal mythical Pokemon, and then oh, you gotta fight all these little things and you get Tapu Pupu and then stupid. I hate it.
Actually, since we're on the topic of Pokemon, that reminds me of another PSP exclusive that they had, and I can't remember what it was called for the life of me. But do you guys remember the PSP camera like they came out with?
Are you going to talk about Invisibles?
Yes,
Yeah.
dude, that was my game.
I wanted that
Like,
so bad, but I never ended up getting it. But
dude,
yeah, I
I'd be
remember that.
running around my house or whatever. My mom would be like tripping out, like, "What are you doing?" I'm just like, "I'm finding these little monsters." Like I'd be
Bro,
underneath.
it's like it's Pokemon Go before Pokemon Go. Like that's just another instance of why the PSP was so ahead of its time, dude. PSP was definitely a goated console, especially for it being like a handheld. Crazy.
See, for
Don't even
me,
get
it
me
was
started on like the hacks and stuff that you could do with it, like the I almost said
Yeah,
malware, not like malware, homebrew,
like
like
emulators and
homebrew.
stuff. Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
dude.
like the PSP still holds up today, even for collectors, because like it's like I said, it was like it still holds up. The games are still solid, but you can also emulate so much on there. Like you can emulate like the old Pokemon games, PlayStation One, just like a bunch of vintage games. I mean, those that was a very solid console for what it
you
was,
can
and the fact
play
that people are
Fortnite.
still using it is crazy. You know,
Sure. I like a part of me still wishes that they would have like kept with it. I mean, I understand that innovation and change is necessary for a growing market, but I don't know. I feel like they could have kept going or like kept the same general idea because Sony hasn't released a portable console since the Vita. And I
Yeah,
think that they
they've
like.
got. Go ahead. I was gonna say.
I just
Oh, no, you're good.
I
That
was
was basically it.
I was gonna I was gonna say that they have like an answer to the Switch coming out, but it's not that good because you still have to be connected to the internet.
yeah,
But
you
look
got
into it because they have it looks terrible. You're gonna hate it, but like it looks like they cut the PS5 controller in half and it's just got like an iPad in the middle of it. Like it looks awful.
Oh, no.
But they're trying to bring something back and it's bad.
Bro,
What
just
else? And I
bring
I
back.
think the market as someone who like deals with this type of stuff like all the time, nostalgia is the market right now, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like we're in a time where innovation is slowing down and we're trying to push nostalgia. Like I feel like that's why Nintendo is so on top of everything right now. Just because like they're always pushing Pokemon and because it's stuff everybody knows.
Nintendo's
That's
gonna be
Nintendo's
like,
biggest thing is collectability.
here's the Nintendo GameCube Switch 2. It has a screen in it, and you can disconnect the memory cards, and these are actually Joy Cons you can use to play the games.
I
You know
mean,
that.
The Switch 2 is coming.
Switch 2 is
Yeah.
just going to be the GameCube 2.0.
I don't think I would buy it though. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I've touched my Switch in like 2-3 months since I beat the new Zelda. Like after I finished that, I was just like, okay, like let's put this down for another 6 months till they release another hit.
Mario
Because
RPG
everything,
and Thousand Year Door.
Yeah, like a lot of like nothing really good has came out for the Switch in a little bit. I'm gonna be honest.
Suck
yeah,
my
I guess
nuts.
Mario
Mario
Wonder,
Wonder was
but
freaking fantastic.
but all right, let's be honest with ourselves, right? Okay, Mario is the same game. It's just a 2D platformer where you're running sideways all the time, and all they ever do is add new power ups. It's the
I
same
can't
crap
believe the crap
all
I'm
the
hearing.
time.
I need my
But
Luigi
like,
glasses to put on to hear the crap you're talking.
I'm just gonna be honest, bro. Mario is so overrated. It just
it kind
is.
of is. Like now,
That's why
whenever they
Luigi's my boy.
outsource when they outsource the title to like other developers and stuff, and you get the things like was it Paper Mario or Super Mario RPG?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
those titles are fire just because it's something like new and innovative. And personally, like I'm a sucker for turn-based RPGs. Like I love that shit, the grind. Um, but whenever it comes to like the just straight up Mario titles and stuff, like yeah, you're right. It's just very repetitive.
Chandler,
Yeah.
Like I think the last solid Mario title that I played was the one that they came out with on the Wii. The first one. I think it was just like Super Mario Bros. Wii or
oh
something
yeah,
like that.
New Super Mario Bros. Wii, yeah.
I
Yeah.
reckon. I mean, like I feel like they the innovation of Mario is weird, right? Because like because on the Switch, all I remember seeing is like Mario Kart, Mario Party, Super Mario Wonder, and then you're getting like everything else is just rehashes, right? Like we're getting Super Mario Bros. RPG, that's a redo. We have all the Nintendo stuff on the Nintendo Online. I mean, it's just
Yep.
rehashes everything. The last good Nintendo era for Mario, at least, was probably like the GameCube because
Mario Kart Wii.
you had stuff like what's the game I'm trying to
Mario
say?
Sunshine.
Yeah, Sunshine. You had
The
stuff like
Thousand
Sunshine,
Year
Paper Mario
Door.
Thousand Year Door. Exact. But look, the Switch. There's a remake. Hey, that's my point, though. That's the point I'm trying to make, though. Is everything on the Switch is just remakes? It's like it's getting annoying.
But
It's
it
just
looks better.
rehashes
But it looks
over and
better.
over and over.
But it looks better though.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't. It's just a rehash,
It
though.
matters to
Again, like
me.
it's just
That's
it's
my
just
favorite
annoying.
Mario game.
I don't know. Mario's just getting old and repetitive to
Chandler,
me. There's nothing innovative about it anymore.
I hear
It's
that
just
Mario RPG is one of the best RPGs known to mankind, Chandler. So you should play that one. I pre-ordered it already.
I are you talking about the new one that they're coming out with,
Yeah,
or is
I
it just like
the new one. It's basically the exact. Well, it's not the exact same. There's some new like data life, like better, like improvement, like performance enhancements in this one,
Like there's
graphical
modern
enhancements.
improvements. Yeah, there's just modern day improvements.
But I hear it's
yeah?
a lot
Because like
better.
I played the OG Super Mario RPG, and then I stuck with like the Mario and Luigi games and stuff like Superstar Saga and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Um, but that was it. Like, so I mean, if it's just a revamp of that, I mean, I might buy it just for like nostalgia purposes and replay the game because it's been a minute. But outside of that, like, I'm not really like getting anything, you know?
But like that's what I mean that's literally what I've been saying the whole time though. Nintendo is
Yeah.
all nostalgia right now. They know the market. They know everyone just wants nostalgia. So I
And
mean
it
like that's all they're
works.
pushing out. It's all they're pushing out. Like tell me one good title that's original that has came out since Zelda. You just said that. Like bro, I don't know. No, it's a rehash. It's just
This is
more
brand new.
power-ups.
What you talking about? This brand new. It's got a freaking Wonder Flower on it.
It's a power up. That's a new power up. That's what I just said.
It's a fire flower with the skin.
Yes.
It bought the battle pass.
That's what I was literally about to say. Like, welcome to COD.
You got that Fortnite battle pass.
All right, let's see. So, I'll talk about my opinion on consoles real quick.
All right. This man pulls out a switch bag.
Nah, dude, when I went to the Mario Wonder thing, a rep from Nintendo was there, and he gave me a bunch of free stuff. It was cool.
That's lit.
Here's my opinion on consoles. So I like all three, but for different reasons. I like Sony literally just because of the Spider-Man games, and because I had a PS2 as a kid, so I have the nostalgia blinders for that.
Oh man.
I had a PS4. It got AIDS. The only way to fix it was to delete all my save data, and I had to install something on a stupid flash drive. And then finally, after months, I freaking fixed it by myself. And then when I go in
Is
there,
that the one you sold to me?
yes. And then when I
Because
go
bro,
in
that
there,
PS4 is terrible. I
told
played it
you
and that thing is
sucks.
trash.
I told you it sucks.
It's bad. It's bad.
And then
Like,
freaking,
bro,
wait,
I don't even want to talk about it.
So I log in with thinking everything's gonna be fine. I'll still have save data. Nope, all my save data from every single game got wiped. Freaking stupid. I will never buy a Sony console again because of that. So that's my opinion.
So
That's my opinion on
This
Sony.
is why the digital market is going to die, because the moment that these consoles start dying
Hold on.
and people can't play their games, they're going to be like, "Oh, digital sucks."
Hold on. This is why,
Back to what you were talking about.
This is why I like Microsoft. I sold my Xbox when I was in 12th grade. I had an Xbox One. I sold it when I was in 12th grade. You sold me the Series S like a month ago. And I log in, I have all of my old save data, all of my old games, all of my old achievements on the next generation of consoles. Like, bro, freaking Sony deletes my stuff because I can't do crap. Freaking Xbox keeps my nice saved and preserved from 12th grade, from freaking 2019 to 2023, untouched. I have all my old games. I downloaded Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I hop right back in where I left off freaking like 4 years ago. Freaking Microsoft's consoles are freaking amazing. The freaking Bethesda, them owning Bethesda. Bethesda makes my favorite set of games. I love Fallout. I love Elder Scrolls. Freaking Starfield's amazing. Freaking, I like Halo. And then, like, I enjoy all of their games and their consoles and stuff. But, like, for me, I have more fun playing Nintendo because of the nostalgia. Nintendo has me in the nostalgia chokehold right now, like Austin's saying. Microsoft is like my favorite overall, but Nintendo is like here. Mine's like Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony. It's like on the bottom of the screen. Sony's like on my nuts right now. The PSP is what's saving Sony from my nuts right now.
Let's talk about that, right? Okay. So here's the entire console wars. Exactly, bro. Like, all right, so here's the console wars right now, right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is just how it is. You've got Microsoft, which is all power. Everything's power related. They're literally a computer company. They're the most powerful console on the market right now, and the easiest access.
Their user interface is really good.
And it is. They have the whole like cloud share, and then they have like the you can start any game exactly where you stopped off. You don't have to like stop one, go to another one, or whatever. And then you have the PS4, which just has better exclusives than Microsoft. I'm like, bro, you're comparing Forza, Halo, and stuff like that to God of War, Spider-Man, etc. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like Sony has the better exclusives.
Bro, talking mad shit
but Microsoft's just easier to get to. Xbox is easier to get to. Now Nintendo is trash compared to like the hear me out before let me finish what I'm talking about. Nintendo is trash when you're talking about consoles, because if you're looking for graphics or whatever, you're not going to get that because they
Nope.
had to create a console that you could take with you at the same time.
Say that to my Animal
But
Crossing pencils.
But Nintendo also will never go away just because they have the collectability aspect of everything, right?
Yeah.
Nintendo's been around forever. It's not going away. You have things like Pokemon, Mario, Zelda, Animal Crossing. All these games just aren't going to get up and walk away because they have a strong fan base. So they're literally just a nostalgia thing, and even the amiibos. And they got like trading cards or whatever.
Bro,
It's like it's all collectability.
I'm gonna buy that
So
Sora amiibo because Sora is my favorite character. So I'm buying that Sora amiibo.
Don't even bring up Kingdom Hearts. They drove that series into the ground.
oof.
They did.
Kingdom Hearts
Tell me.
1 Kingdom Hearts 1 is great.
No.
Kingdom Hearts 2 is a masterpiece. Kingdom Hearts 3 is dog poop.
Yeah. I was about to say they drove that series into the ground.
The only thing I like about Kingdom Hearts 3 is the secret endings animation. It looked like they whipped that animation out of like it's like he was animating straight fire out of that end credit scene. And then it went straight back to like it went from straight to like 1080p to freaking like 420.
Yeah, just 420. No other resolution. Just 420.
And then like the bad part, like Haley Joel Osment still being Sora, being like he's in his 30s, being like, haha, yeah, Donald, Goofy, let's go save princesses for the 27th time.
Yeah, but I mean that I feel like Kingdom Hearts is Sony's like Nintendo. Well, no, is it a Sony exclusive?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
No,
is.
no,
It
no.
is.
Kingdom Hearts 3 broke that. 3's on the Xbox.
I was about to say
Gotcha.
it was, but it's not
Actually, yeah, not
anymore.
anymore. I
Well,
painted it.
that's because of Square Enix. So
I painted it.
that's dope.
Freaking, what is it? I'm trying to
Honestly,
remember.
they just need to bring back like all of the
Still got this
they,
Colby.
they need they
Huh?
need to bring back what's it called they need to bring back Square like because I'll
Conker's
be
Bad
honest
Fur
like
Day. Banjo Kazooie 3. Donkey Kong 64 number 2.
because Square was where it was at. That was my favorite like
I
game developer for a long time.
fully agree
And then
with you. Conker's Bad Fur Day was legendary.
whenever they went over to Square Enix, like it just went downhill from there. Like 12 was okay, 10 was good.
15 was good.
15 was it was mid. I'll be honest.
Noctis is my favorite Final Fantasy character.
Like as a person that's been playing Final Fantasy like literally since I could walk, because like that was what my dad used to do. Is he would play his PS1 and he played Final Fantasy 9. And since I didn't have voice actors and it was like all text boxes and stuff, he would have me like be reading the text boxes at like
Yeah,
3.
you said that's how you read them. That's how you learn how to read, right?
Yeah, that's how I learned how to read at like a super young age. It was because like that was like our bonding time. I would just sit in his lap in the recliner while he was playing the game, and then I would just read like all of the words and stuff.
That's the coolest way
But
to learn how to read possible.
honestly, yeah. But no, I've played every single Final Fantasy that has ever been released, and I can by far say that like 15 was mid, all of 13 was trash. Every single 13 was like just
Yeah,
bad.
I'm not gonna lie with you. 15 was pretty mid, but like I still like Noctis as a character.
Like they're finally getting it right by listening to the fan base and doing the 7 remake, which there's a lot of speculation behind that it's not technically a remake. What it is so if you've ever played 7, the OG 7, whenever Aerith is first like looking into the live stream and stuff, the theory is that she is actually looking into the future and seeing like all of the events of the OG7 play out, and she thinks that like there's no way to like break that cycle. That's just her fate, that she's fated to die, and everything else like the meteor will come and everybody will save the day. But in the remake, she's trying to change all that. And so all of the like black smoky figures that everybody was like, what is this? Like this isn't like a part of the original game and stuff. That's coming along because that's fate trying to like steer the course of events to align with what originally happened in the game. So now they're thinking that like
This Organization
Zach is going to stay
15.
alive and stuff like that. You said what? Organization
No,
15?
that's Organization 15, bro. What you talking about? That's freaking got my boy Roxas in there, bro.
You got Xehanort and all them.
Of course. I'm gonna guess that your favorite Final Fantasy character is Titus.
No, actually.
I'm not gonna lie, boys. 8:40. I gotta go. Gotta get ready
Gotcha.
for work.
All
Good
good,
chat
man.
though. Deuces.
Yeah. See you, man.
We will continue. You and me are continuing this. Don't worry.
All right, it's all good. Yeah, no, it's actually not Titus.
It's Barrett, isn't it?
Nope, not Barrett either.
Barrett's the legend. It's Cloud.
Nope.
Sephiroth.
It's definitely not. It's not a mainstream like character.
Uh, uh, Gladio from 15.
No.
What game
I'll
is
give you.
it from?
I'll give you a hint. It's from one of the older titles, older than 7.
I ain't gonna know that.
Ah,
No, I was gonna say Leon, but that's after 7.
yeah, it's 8.
I don't even know.
Now, my favorite character is X Death from 4. Yeah, I was about to say that. You should look him up. Or 5, my bad. Yeah, he's from 5. Technically 4, but it's actually 5.
Oh, is that? Oh, yep. This. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
My favorite Final Fantasy character is Sora.
No, I even play like the Final Fantasy TCG, and my deck is built around like X Death.
That's sick.
Yeah. What's funny is it's like the core of the deck is Final Fantasy 15 characters because of their abilities and stuff, but the like boss of the deck is X Death.
I bet you have Prompto in that deck.
I probably do. I haven't like touched it in, I'll be honest, like a hot minute.
Prompto used to piss me off in 15. Every time we went to fight, he'd be like, and he'd go, and I'd be like, shut up. I don't want to hear you singing the song anymore.
Right.
Right,
That should be like our next topic is like something like Final Fantasy related. But
have Jen and Tim on too.
oh yeah, I mean honestly, if you wanted,
Final
I don't know if
Fantasy.
Jen would do it.
I could probably.
Well, because
get her to do it.
she's all about 10 though, and I'll be honest, like 10 was okay.
I
Like
tried
the
to get
first
into
10
it.
was really good,
I couldn't get into it.
but 10-2 was kind of like okay, they're going for the sex appeal, unfortunately.
Bro, Tim had to help me with Final Fantasy X. I got so freaking confused, and I'm like, "How do I do this?" He's like, "Oh, you'll," because Jen said, "If you have any problem with like the water ball game, just call Tim." So I was on the phone with Tim. I'm like, "Why do I keep losing this stupid game?" And he taught me how, and I got it first try. I'm like, "Okay, there we go, we got it."
Yep. Oh, Blitzball, that's what it's called.
Which one?
Blitzball, that's what it was
Blitzball.
called.
Yeah, that's right. That got me mad.
Damn, I wish that they would bring back the card game from what was it from 8 and 9. I don't remember what it was called, but it was cool. Like honestly, I wish that they would have made like a modern day adaptation of it, either like a standalone title or even do like a physical game. Uh, Tetramaster, that's what it was called. So essentially, like you have a card, right? And it's all monsters or like artifacts or like ships and stuff like that. Um, and these cards have like arrows on them, and then the card has like a value. It'll have like a health value, a magic value, and a physical attack value. I don't really remember how the math works out in regards to like stacking the values, but essentially, like if one card is stronger than the other, then the cards that it points to are flipped into your color, essentially. And then, like, whoever has the most cards, like, there's what's that game with dots that you can play? So with black and white dots, where like if you put your dot next to like your opponent's row, then it flips all of the dots to your color.
Um, it's not Sudoku, is it?
No. Sudoku is numbers.
Uh, like Gen Rummy?
No,
Checkers?
no.
Yeah, this is the
Hey,
math for the Final Fantasy game, though.
lit.
Yeah,
I don't even know what I'm looking
quadratic
at.
formula.
It shows how long I've been out of school.
That's the only thing I remember from math class. I'm trying to think though, because I know what you're talking about. Is that game where you like put
But
black and white pebbles in this little thingy and you gotta?
yeah, and they like flip and stuff
Yeah,
like that. But it's
that's what I'm
essentially
talking
like
about.
that. And then like whoever has like the most of your particular color on the board at the end of the game, because I think you start the game with like 7 cards, and then the game ends whenever you've placed like your last card, and then whoever has the most cards wins, and then the winner gets to select a card that was played from the opponent.
Hmm.
So like you can just rob somebody of like all their cards technically. But like that game is so fun, man. I would spend hours upon hours like just playing it.
I had that with Bakugan on the DS. I played that game like crazy. I could never beat the fight. I don't remember which one I was talking about. But so like this is why I like us being called hyperfixated, because if you fixate on one thing, we gonna be fixated on it for a minute. But
Yeah,
circling back to that's why I call it hyperfixated, so they can't really get mad at us if we get off topic, because that's the whole point of the
right.
pod. Oh shoot! Freaking Sora just fell off the wall, scared the crap out of me.
Oh,
Um, getting back to what I was gonna say with the consoles though, like my favorite console of all time it's gonna be the GameCube. GameCube was my favorite. I mean, it wasn't the first console I ever had. I had a PlayStation 2 as my first console. And I tell this story about every other podcast episode. When me and my dad were little, when I was little, me and my dad would always play Lego Star Wars together. And some mornings when I'd be like, I'd finish my homework, and then I'd be like, my dad would like get home from work, and he's about to go to work, but he'd be like, Colby, you want to play a little bit with me? I'm like, yeah. So we like play Lego Star Wars together, and then we'd like play NCAA football 2003 together, and I'd always want to play as the mascots, and I would never win. And now, when I got older, I learned how to play it better, and I actually started beating them. But
mm,
that one's my favorite just for the nostalgia stuff. But like my actual favorite console, like dude, come on, it's got a handle on it.
yeah, that is kind of based.
Like legendary console. I had to plug it back in when I finished the episode. I bet Animal Crossing's in here just getting scratched up to everything. Pretty much.
Yeah, valid. But
I wish I was like comprehensive of things in that era. I was only like a few months old, so I legit remember absolutely nothing. But I would very
I don't
much
know.
like. I very much would have liked to have been alive during that. During the whole GameCube, at least like 5 years old when the GameCube came out.
Well, like the crazy thing is, and I feel like this is why I've always kind of been deterred from Nintendo consoles, if you will, was that like growing up, I was just around a PS2. That was it. But my uncle had a GameCube, and he had a what was it, the Wind Waker,
Oh yeah,
Legend
good
of
game.
Zelda.
Good game.
But like I was maybe 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there, and every time I would go over, that was like the only game that he had for it besides Super Smash. Um, So like I could play Smash, but I was always playing against computers, and that got like kind of annoying because like I didn't have anybody else to play against or whatever. And
Understandable.
then um he had Super Mario Sunshine, which got aggravating because like as a kid I wasn't technical enough to like understand how to actually beat the game.
Yeah.
So and then same thing for Wind Waker. Like I literally did not like I would start a new game, you know how you wake up and stuff like that, and then you wander around. Like I had no sense of direction, so I was just like, "What do I do?"
And the music,
And then that just made me mad.
the music's sitting there going dun 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 dun, and you see that little kid with the snot bubble run up to you, going like,
Yeah, waddle, waddle, waddle.
legendary game. Yeah, that's the noise you make pretty much. It's just
Yep. But yeah, no, I just didn't know what to do, and as a kid, like I got bored really, really fast.
I think
Like
the worst part.
I had the attention span equivalent of being able to like throw GTA in the PS2 and doing the cheat code for a tank, driving around in the tank for like 30 minutes, and then that would like satisfy me for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Like almost the exact same thing with the game. I tried to blow up as much as I could, and I would get bored. I'm like, okay, I don't want to play this anymore.
Yep.
I think the worst part about Wind Waker is that like me being 22 years old, bro, I still had to look up a like tutorial of how to do something because I had no clue what to do.
I mean, but that's just like part of the game, I feel like,
Yeah, it's a skill issue. I'm just stupid.
mildly. No, I'm kidding.
Nah, I don't take offense.
No, it's okay. I just gotta reinforce the negative, like putting yourself down.
Yeah.
You're gonna put yourself down real hard.
All I do is put myself down real hard.
Oof. Side note, we're actually wearing the same shirt. I know I don't have my camera on, but
Wild. That was funny. Me and one of my coworkers the other day, I saw her undershirt. I said, no freaking way we're wearing the same shirt. So we're both unbuttoned and we're like, that's wild.
this is like my go-to undershirt, to be honest.
Yeah, because it's got the pit stains on it from deodorant. Because it's a black shirt.
Nice.
I don't wear black shirts strictly because of that. Even though it says doesn't leave a streak, it does always.
You gotta get a different brand, man.
Well, this was my Old Spice era. I switched to Dove Men recently. Go to deodorant. It doesn't make my armpits turn red.
Oh,
Old Spice like killed my pits.
so what's gonna be the next topic that you talk about next time?
Um, that is a great question. I'm genuinely. We
I
can
guess
do.
just like kind of like close it out and wrap things up type thing. Like, what are we going to be doing
Yeah,
next?
we can do a final. I usually don't ever tell anybody what I'm doing next because I genuinely don't know until like maybe a few days before we record.
Oh,
Um,
come on, man, you
well,
gotta
no,
plan a little bit better.
we've been trying to make a schedule, but Chris works at night, and by the time I'm awake, he's asleep, and Austin's like in just limbo, just chilling, and like we never have time to properly make. Like I have plans to do them, but like I never know when I'm going to actually do them. Like Luke wants to do an episode where we listen and rank every single One Piece opening song, and then
But we can't do that, man.
what
I've only just made it
just
to what is it? The geez, what is the second season? Like I'm on episode like 80 something like that or
dang
something.
bro,
82, I
I'm on
think.
689.
Geez. Like, so here's my question because I'm using Netflix to watch it right now, right? And Netflix only has up to like I think episode 404 or something.
Mhm.
Like, I know that you can do like a VPN to get the Japanese version of Netflix, but they don't have English subtitles.
I can just give you my Crunchyroll login.
Oh, is it on Crunchyroll?
Yeah. You'll probably
Based.
by the time you get finished, I'll probably be done with it, and I'll let you just use my login and watch it on my login.
Based. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna take me forever just to even get to 400. So,
See, because here's the funny part. I genuinely have no clue who has access to my account, but I have like a sugar mama on my account because they just be paying for my subscription, and it's not me. So like, I'm just chilling, having free Crunchyroll.
You should mess with the usernames and be like, who is this? I need info and like a phone number or something.
I genuinely have no clue who like I gave like three different friends my password and like username my account, and like one of them had to have like manually entered in their card to like keep paying for the premium, but I don't know who it is, so I just have like I'm not going to correct it or fix anything because if they don't know, I don't have money to be paying for that every month. So like I'm gonna just keep it on the DL right now, just get my free anime and keep it.
Right.
So yeah, I'll let you use my account so you can have free anime too.
Nice. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just let me know when you finish, because by the time you finish, I'll probably be done with One Piece. I'm watching on my, because Luke told me to watch it, freaking July when it came out in dub, and I told him I'll do that, I promise. And my backlog has increased significantly because he's been making me watch this. I have to catch up on like 6 freaking romantic comedies that I wanted to watch, because all I watch is romantic comedy anime. I watch some action, but not a lot. Um, I gotta wait for Attack on Titan's new episode that just dropped tonight to come out in dub. It's the last episode, but I need it to be in English because did I show you that I got Aaron's voice actor to sign a book?
Yeah, yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, um, yeah. So I want to hear him be Aaron in the last one. When I met him in September, he told me I haven't recorded it yet. So like,
Hmm.
it's confirmed it's not recorded yet.
Gotcha.
All right, let's see it. But hold on. Let's close out the episode and we can keep talking. So to close this one out, basically this is just us talking about our favorite consoles, why we like them, what our favorite console is, etc. I plan like a few months ahead to I'm gonna get like 2 people for Nintendo, 2 people for Sony, 2 people for Microsoft, and then me, Austin, and Chris are gonna be like the mediators where we're just like, yeah, I agree with that, but I don't agree with that. I think that's dumb, but we're gonna segue into Nintendo, and then I'm gonna have one person who's just like, yeah, I like PC, and we're just gonna look at them like. But anyway, um, happy hyperfixated. Thank you for watching the episode. And Chandler, thank you for showing up as our special guest this week. And we'll have you on another time for that Final Fantasy episode and a few other episodes as well.
Cool, man. Appreciate you.
hmm Hey guys, so after the podcast, this is the end of the episode. I wanted to do something I don't usually do. Since this is the Console Wars episode, I'm reading comments from all of my TikTok and YouTube accounts that have for people who like reminisce about their favorite consoles. So, to start with Nintendo, one of my friends, Movie Buff 88, commented, "My grandparents had the NES, and that was my introduction. My first system was the Super NES. I've owned every Nintendo home console. The SNES is my favorite." And let's see, the next one is their name is Keisuke, and it says first ever was the Game Boy Advance, and then the GameCube. I missed the GameCube, and I feel that because I also missed the GameCube. I want them to make new stuff for it, but I know that'll never happen. But they are remaking old GameCube games for the Switch, so that's a plus. Someone named Big Nobody said the NES/Wii, but mostly SNES, Game Boy, and N64. Favorite games were Killer Instinct, Pokemon, and Banjo Kazooie. Console would have to be just the NES. Would have to be the NES, just the goated all around. And I've said that is very valid. And then someone named Silba said the GameCube was their favorite game console for Nintendo. The next video is Sony Generations, and my friend Colin says PS2 was my. I'm trying not to cuss in these anymore. So the PS2 was my S word. First console was the N64 though. I responded with PlayStation 2 was my first console ever, so I hold that one a little bit closer than the rest. My friend Movie Buff 88 again says I grew up in a Nintendo household. My entry point was a PS3 that I bought on my own. So he pretty much has like two different types of the consoles. Someone average Halloween fanatic commented that the PS3 was so good. My older brother had one, and I used to play it with him sometimes. So I agree, PS3 was a really good console. Someone said GC Douche 23 said I was born in the 2000s, had all the systems except the first. What generation would people consider me? I told him he'd be the legend. He has all the consoles for Sony, legend. For Microsoft, I had someone, the username the_Grallo says Series X. This dude's username is just the emoji. So he said 360 was his childhood, and I had a 360. It was a really good console. Got the Red Ring of Death twice, but I ended up fixing it twice. Someone named Intrusive Thoughts said they're all the generations, so they're a legend as well. And then this person whose name is Consega Cosquega says in this order it's 360, then the Xbox, then the Series X, then the Xbox One in that correct order. And then someone by the name user 01937364438 says OG best console ever next to GameCube. PlayStation 2 was overhyped junk. I don't know how I feel about that just because it was my first console, but I'll take it how it is. And then let's see, I'm moving on to YouTube now so I can read those comments. Alright, so on YouTube, someone at altdinsky 1914 responded with the Wii, and the Wii was a good Nintendo console. This is redoing Nintendo stuff, but just on the just with the Nintendo consoles. Someone named at the Chessboard Gear said GameCube, Wii, and DS era for real. 3DS is his favorite out of the bunch though, and he said it hits hard and he still plays it to this day, which is I play mine to this day too, so that's valid. Alright, so for Sony's generation, someone responded with Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Bro did not follow the assignment. Someone, their name was at Cooper Segnoredo 6905, and then at Xazian at Tenebris, I don't even know. Xaziana Tenebre or something like that. 6407. They said they had all of the above, and they still do. And you'll hear my opinions on Sony in the episode, so I'm not going to say too much. At Horizon RMV, but the Z is a 7. This is the PS Slip. This is the PS3 Slim. I remember that one. That was one that used to slide. You slide it, put the thing in, and then slide it back. That was sick. At Killer Rizwan, they said PS4, and they said a 6-digit number, and I don't know why, so I'm not gonna say it. At Caton Roblox 443 said the PS4. At Kale Capistrano said the PS4 Pro. That's the console I used to have, and again, you heard what I had to say about it in the episode, so there's that. I don't like the PlayStation 4. Someone said at MTF -456 said the PS3 with a turtle dove. PS2 was a good console. At Nicological Donkey Kong DK, I'm gonna assume that just means Donkey Kong. They said the PS2. That was my first console, so I hold that one a little bit closer to me. But those are the nostalgia blinders. At BCDT said me who had a Wii growing up. I told them I have a Nintendo episode up. At Waffle Sonic, but it's spelled wrong, said PS3 at my cousin's and my Xbox 360. These people just ain't doing the assignments properly. At Antoine underscore games 1 said PS2. Same for me. I felt that. At Tiger Master 3683 says PlayStation 2 mostly for a cheap DVD player, and at the time I did forget that the PS2 was a DVD player, so there's that. At Christian Cruz 6078 said PS5. Only reason why I would ever buy a PS5 is to play Spider-Man 2, and I would sell the PS5 right after that. I don't like Sony's software or consoles. At GamerBoss -MW1ZG said Xbox One. At Fefero 2784 said the PlayStation 2. And then at Elric Benedict 5954 also said PS2. I told them it was my first console, and they said exactly, I miss it. I said it was ahead of its time, and they said exactly. And then for Xbox, or for Microsoft, at that's guy 410 said all. So they had all the consoles, so they are the legend. At Cold Exotic said 360. That was my first Xbox console, so I agree 360 was a goated console. At Connor 410 said Xbox Series X. I have a Series S because I bought it from my friend Austin for a little bit cheaper from him. And I'm just happy to have an Xbox again, so like I'm okay with that. At Mark Diaz 4150 said Xbox 360 and the Series, which is very valid. At Brighamben 4187 says the Xbox One X. And then Juan -VV4IW says I have an Xbox 360 and a PS4 and an Xbox Series S, which I responded with legendary. And then I'm going to insert in a few videos that my friends have made about their favorite consoles, or my friends, but they're my guests as well. But one of them is Camera Shy. So Jared Lawrence, I'm reading yours. Jared says, obviously PC will be the best. I don't personally own one, but I know that PC will always have better graphics, loading times, etc. Not only that, but PC players can play almost every console game plus other games that are only available through PC. And if you wanted to use a controller or a steering wheel, you could either use Xbox or PlayStation controllers. Also with PC, you have a lot more freedom since most PC games can and will be modded. In my opinion, the console wars shouldn't even be a thing, and I really feel like it tears the gaming community apart than anything. It's pointless. Both main consoles, Xbox and PlayStation, have their strengths and weaknesses, and to be honest, if it wasn't for each console's exclusive games, I really don't think there would be such a thing as a console war, because other than that, both consoles are pretty much the same, and it would only come down to the person's preference of controller and user interface. As far as Nintendo, I really feel like they just aren't as big as PlayStation and Xbox. Yes, they do put out great games, but most people solely focus on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. Not to mention most games for said consoles are not usually on a Nintendo system, so Nintendo is sort of its own little thing, which I respect. But anyways, console wars are stupid in my opinion, and don't really serve a purpose other than that for each company trying to drive more sales for each said consoles. Ratio / skill issue. I'll say when you listened to the episode, you heard what I had to say. You heard my piece. So yeah, there's that. Here's the two videos from my other guests.
My name is Donovan, and I would have to say my favorite console company is probably Nintendo, because that was the console, the company, all that good stuff consoles that I grew up with. Like, I was a Nintendo kid. Everybody else was playing all these other games on their Xboxes, on their freaking PlayStations, but I was kicking ass with Mario, with Sonic, with all of them, all my people. Kirby, gotta know Kirby. But, the GameCube was the one that literally changed my life. Very revolutionary. If I had the chance to play on one again, I'd freak out. All of my favorite games, everything, it was just such a good console. Very, very much a great console to grow up with. PlayStation is a close second, though. That shit. Okay, I don't know if I can cuss. I'm sorry. Alright.
Now, it seems an important matter regarding the superiority of consoles over one another has been brought to my attention. And I feel like I have a pretty good standpoint on this because I grew up playing all kinds of consoles. I had a PlayStation 1. I'm pretty sure the first one I ever played was a Nintendo 64. That one holds a very special place in my heart, very nostalgic. I played my first shooter on it, GoldenEye 007. My favorite platformer, one of them at least, was Banjo-Tooie. And on the PlayStation 1, I had the original Crash Bandicoot and the second one. So, yeah, I loved those games. I grew up playing those at a pretty young age. Me and my brother love retro games. And so we'd play the hell out of the Nintendo and the PlayStation 1. But I'd say the bulk of my gaming hours were put into, at least before 2021, the bulk of my hours were put into Xbox. Now I play PC. The only reason for that is you get a wider variety of games on computer. So, like, yeah, consoles have exclusives and shit, but, like, even those, like, that doesn't really matter on computer because, like, they released God of War on PC last year or the year before that, and that's a Sony exclusive. So, and then, like, with the Nintendo games, you can just get emulators if you want. So I guess if I had to choose, I'd say Microsoft as a whole, just because, you know, they have the operating system for computer, and they also make probably the best console. Well, they do make the best console as far as mainstream consoles go. But, like, I mean, come on. Series X has more power than the PlayStation 5, and it's not even as much money as the PS5. I mean, come on. That's just dumb. Why would you buy that? But, like, whatever.
All right, everyone. So that's what I've gotten from my guests and my friends who were also talking about their consoles. We did get a little off topic today, but that's part of the gaming stuff. We're boys. We're gamers. We all have ADHD. We hyperfixate. Sue us. That's the name of the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you on the next one.
Hey, let me get a minute. Hey, let me get one too. Hey, let me hold on.
Yeah, you get that right there. What the dog doing? 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 What the dog doing?